made it be, by the way.
All right, Blerdsters, welcome back on a new episode of Blerdbuster. We are back and we are doing The Flash, the infamous Flash. We're going to talk about all the scandal, the crazy multiverse stuff going on in the movie, everything, Ezra, everything.
Right.
I am your host, Shalon, and this is your co-host,
K1.
Yeah, and we are gonna discuss it, y'all. Let's just get right into it. I'm gonna let you go first because I got a lot to say.
It's a lot for me to unpack. Hold on to it. So it was decent. It was the better of most of the what DCEU's been giving us. So it definitely was pretty decent. CGI was real cringy. It was real cringy.
It was given CW.
Yeah. Yeah, I expect that from CW, but for a big movie like that, But I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. If any real DC fans out there, if you ever seen the animated version, which is Flashpoint, definitely check that out before you see this one. So you can have a comparison.
I took your advice. Well, I took your advice, but then I ended up watching after the fact. Still watched it, but you guys are missing out if you don't watch it. It's crazy. You know what? We should do a review off of that one too, because that one was wild. That was wild.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, that one was wild. But I actually would say that I enjoyed it. It was cool. It was a solid movie. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my God, I loved it. It was amazing. But it definitely, so far from DCU or DCEU, I'm sorry, I think it's definitely one of the better of the movies for sure. CGI was really bad. Definitely was given CW, and that's not a good thing. I mean, we expect graphics like that from CW because it's CW, but for this to be like, for this to be like a Flash movie, no, that was unacceptable. The action was pretty cool. I liked the action. I don't know if I'm jumping too far ahead, so I'm just gonna skim over. I like that we got to see, or I guess I like that we got to see a more serious Flash, even though technically we still had to deal with, the other version of him. But I like that we got to see a different perspective. And also I like that we got to see him kind of looking at him like, damn, am I that annoying? So that was cool to see. Oh, and then all the multiverse stuff was dope. So
I mean, for sure, because I mean, it definitely was a seriouser, is the word I'm gonna use, seriouser version of the Flash, whatnot. Because you got the Joss Whedon, Flash, then you got the Snyder Flash. They were kind of two different people. If people really knows it, they were kind of two different, ways of portraying the character or whatever. But I did like the fact it was more serious. But I do feel like they was pulling on the Spider-Man Tony Stark dynamic, and I was like, where did this come from?
I agree. It was like, because it was almost to the point where I felt like it was a little too forced. Like, I get, like, and you're talking about the other Flash, the other version of Flash, right? I feel like, okay, we get it. Like, if he still had both of his parents in his life, he would have turned out this way. But it almost like it was a little too forced. And then you had the other Flash sort of be like you said, the Tony Stark mentor type person. And it just came across too cliche and too forced to me. So I agree with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was glad we actually got to see that dynamic, because we never really seen the dynamic of the Flash, like, really with his family. So it was interesting to kind of see that dynamic or whatnot, see how life would be like if his dad wasn't locked up, see how life would be like if his mom had passed away. So it was cool to see that dynamic, and then to give that, Hispanic flavor to it as well, because, historically that's not always been the case. So that was nice to see as well.
For sure.
You know how it started out and everything like that. Like he's still skiing, ain't nothing stopped. He's still skiing. Like he even had to pose for it. I was like, oh, you got a whole.
That's what I said, and I was like, okay. And the thing that pissed me off about it, it's like when it was like 1 second, I swear he almost had the form looked pretty good, and then it went back to that goofy shit. Yeah. I hate that Isra, or I think it was Isra, who kind of like came up with the concept of the skiing type, and it just looks stupid. Flash don't even look fast at all, and I get some DC fanboys will probably be like, well, cause like he's so fast that it's supposed to look like he's just gliding. Or I'm like, bruh, he looks stupid. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after watching Flashpoint and seeing him like this, trying to catch after his I guess you would say past self from repeating the same shit. That type of running that looks correct. I don't know what Israel was doing. I never knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you know, like I said, we know it can be done. We've seen it be done. Like whether it's in the animated or the TV show, you've seen he can run like normal. This whole skin concept, I mean, I could live without it, you know. But the beginning scene though, it was a little entertaining with the whole, my energy's low, but y'all called me over here to do this, and I'm gonna get my snacks during this, during the whole event.
Right, and I think that scene it was cool, but my thing was, and I think what helped me is I went to the movie with no expectations. So when I went into it, I was like, okay, I'm just expecting some goofy, cringy scenes or whatever. So I think with the scene, it was cool, but I also like certain scenes were a little bit just goofy for me. Like the whole, and I get it, like him trying to eat snacks, that's a real thing. I know Flash,
for sure.
Yeah, do that. But it's just, I guess because it's him. And they made him sort of into this like goofy person, weird, awkward person. I was just like, come on, man. Then with the babies, me just kind of being like realistic and scientific, I was like, ain't no way necks ain't broken and arms aren't.
They're not surviving that.
Right. So yeah, the opening scene overall was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then, you know, just kind of let you see a background of like him and his, you know, in his quote unquote natural state or whatever, what he do on his day to day and things of that nature. So, I mean, it was definitely cool to see. And then with the whole, you know, talking with Batman and stuff, like not rewriting the past and all that. And then all of a sudden he wasn't even trying and then end up doing it. That was the crazy part about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, and that was the thing for me, like just seeing how he wasn't trying to do it, but he ended up doing it, and then in the midst of trying to fix it, he kept messing it up even more. So that was interesting to see. But I also feel like with this time stuff, honestly, I feel like because it's been done multiple times, I wish that it kind of was, I wish they would have kind of went in a different way to make it kind of different. I felt like I kind of expected certain things to play out the way they did, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, I think his name is Dark Flash, is what his other alternative or alternate self was called. I saw that coming a mile away, excuse me. So I don't know. I felt like certain things could have just been done a little bit different, so we couldn't see it coming. Something,
right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, people that are like fans, that they actually watch the show and everything like that, that kind of foreshadows as well or whatever. So if you've seen that, you kind of know what you're walking into and whatnot. So it wasn't really a big reveal. And really the worst it got is when, well, we'd be jumping too far ahead if I describe what's going on, but pretty much, like you said, you see it coming from a mile away. It wasn't a big reveal. It was just more so just like, oh, all right, here we go. You know, it's just waiting for you to reveal yourself. So that's all that was.
Yeah, and I also like seeing him and Ben Affleck's Batman sort of got this closer relationship than what we saw last time in the Snyder Cut. That was pretty cool. Batman just trying to help him out with his father's court case and everything like that, trying to get you know, the camera evidence or whatever at the courthouse and stuff. So that was cool to see. I think another thing that kind of pissed me off with him, Oh, I just thought of something, but I'm gonna wait because I think we're jumping ahead. Yeah, we are jumping ahead. I think. Yeah. I'm gonna just save it for later, but because I'm like, something happened in the Snyder cut that kind of threw me off. But anyways, one thing that pissed me off about him is I feel like, damn, I can't say it. Okay, so based on the Snyder cut, he has an idea. Unless this is not canon, I don't know, because Warner Brothers is kind of just fucked up at this point. But I thought, and let me know if I'm wrong, I thought that he kind of had more of an understanding or a complete understanding of how time works better, because in the Snyder cut, he went back in time to save everybody. So I feel like he kind of has an idea of like the consequences of time and stuff like that. I feel like in the movie, when he goes back to stop his mom from buying the can of tomatoes, I don't know. I feel like they should have made him at least smarter, or I don't know. I feel like he just acted a little too naive for me, for someone who knows or should know how time works, especially when he has the power to change it. I don't know.
Correct. I mean, we already knew this was going to kind of be a taped up script, like coming into. We already knew that was going to be a thing. Love the mug, by the way.
Thank you. Hey, Blerdsters. Five Below.
That's fine.
Got it from Five Below. $5.
But with that being said, though, with that script in itself, we knew it was going to be doctored up when we got it anyway. So, I mean, it makes sense as far as like, okay, in this universe, you knew what the consequences were, but now you're just not giving a damn. But, but like I said, then again, he didn't mean to go back that far. He didn't mean to go in the past. And that's what kind of threw things off. So now that he was in the past, he's like, oh, shit. I mean, while I'm here, I might as well, do such and such or figure out what's going on, because at that point, that's where he was starting to lose his power anyway, because he was in a different universe that wasn't his own and blah, blah, blah. So, it was a lot. And, I guess he assumed like, maybe I can slide this in. It won't be an issue. But you seen that consequence before. Leave it alone. Just
leave it. And that be the thing that pisses me off about these sort of movies that are centered around time, is like, just leave it alone. It's like the more you sort of mess with it and tamper with time, it always just goes left. And even with the when he first went back, and I think he was trying to either. No. He was trying to. Was he trying to get back to his own timeline where he got pushed by Dark Flash, which you find out later on that was on purpose, because the nigga was like, I got my own plans. But even with that, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like they made him too naive. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm like, bruh, come on. Can't be that just clueless to what's going on here. Even with his, I guess, he sort of created an alternate version of himself. Even with that, I felt like he should have just known the repercussions of what he was doing. Like, come on, man.
You would think so, but you know how these movies go, man. They just put it in there and just want you to go with it, because, I feel like there was a lot more that could have been done. They could have changed some stuff around, because, like I said, this version versus the Flashpoint, it kind of threw you for a loop, because I feel like there were some pieces in there in the movie they could have pulled on, but they didn't. Like, they could have pulled on the Reverse Flash. They could have pulled on, other things in there, because essentially the Reverse Flash is who kills Flash's mother. Throughout just about everything you learn about the Flash, he's the one that kills Flash's mother. So,
I was waiting for, because I thought I was, especially after watching, because I feel like Flashpoint definitely kind of ties up loose ends, sort of say, which is crazy because they're not right same shit, but still, like. And so I was like thinking, because I was thinking I was gonna see that in the live action movie. So I'm like, so y'all not gonna, at least if you're not gonna, I guess, show what happened to his mom, at least hint at a Reverse Flash situation. That would have been cool. So I hate that they didn't do that. I feel like it was a missed opportunity. They didn't even address it. They just kind of left it like, we don't know what happened to the mom, and it is what it is type shit. So I don't know.
Right. Just left the beach. Just like, nah, she died, bro. That's it. Nothing crazy. She's died. So, and ain't no telling. But then again, it just goes back to, we know that this is ending the DCEU. This is this is the reset or whatever have you. So with it being a reset, maybe they just kind of felt like, well, it's gonna be a reset anyway, so we're just gonna throw whatever in there and boom, just turn around. So
It did seem like that, yeah. Because even, damn, I'm jumping ahead, but I'll just stay. I'm not gonna explain what happens in the post credits, but even with the scene with him and Aquaman, it kind of just seemed like why, and I feel like that's probably why they probably just threw some together just so they can have some. But yeah, but back to the movie. What did you think about Michael Keaton, seeing him again as Batman? Because I thought that was pretty cool. He was dope.
I was ready. Yeah, I was ready. Like Michael Keaton, he ain't lost no pep in his step. Like, he he been doing it for a minute, so it was just good to see him back in the role or whatnot.
Yeah.
But when he came to the mansion and everything like that, everything looked decrepit and dead. I was like, yeah, this feels about right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good to see him, and it was interesting to see what happened after that. But yeah, it was good to see him.
Yeah, it was dope how they came in, because at first I'm gonna be real, I knew that it had to be Michael Keaton. It just didn't look like him to me at first, with him with the long hair, and
right.
It didn't look like him at all. I was just like, well, who is this? And then when he said, I'm Bruce Wayne, I was like, oh, so this is Michael Keaton. And then when and then what tripped me out is like he's literally like beating both of their asses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I think by that point, I will say our Flash. I'm just gonna say our Flash, but but he lost his powers by that point, right? Because he had already. Because I feel like we did jump ahead, but by that time he already lost his powers. So I mean, really, we were dependent on idiot Flash, and he was just a screw up.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, backtracking what you're saying or whatnot. So when he did arrive into this universe or whatnot, that's when he finds, oh, this ain't even my, not even my time period, but this ain't even my universe, because I got whole parents here. Because at first he was like, oh, this is me, like this is my life I'm living. Yeah. Nah, come find out it was a whole nother Flash or whatnot, or Barry Allen that didn't know he was gonna be Flash yet.
Yeah.
Because whole time Barry Allen's in there, our Barry Allen is in there with his parents and everything, shooting the breeze and blah blah blah. He's like, oh man, this is like for real, y'all really alive right now. What's going on? And then when he catches himself, he's like, oh shit, like nah, this ain't right. Let me go out here and let him know what's going on. So
because he was coming home from college, right? But and he was just like, wait, what? And then he goes and like tries to like stop him from coming in. And then when he did that, I was like, yo, that's like time travel rule number 1. You never supposed to talk to yourself.
Nope. So he already messed up.
Right. And the thing that pissed me off is like, I feel like, and I'm not trying not to bash it too hard, because like I said, I knew what to expect going in there, but I just felt like the weight of your situation, my boy, you over here playing games with this. I think the dude was sitting there saying, hey, like, run around one more time for me. And then like he did, I'm like, yo, you need to be figuring out a way to get the hell back. Like, what you doing?
Fuck the peep show. Like, come on now, we got to figure this shit out.
Right. And here's another thing. Why the hell did he feel like it was his responsibility to get that Flash his powers? Like, why did he feel like he had to get him to the place for him to get his powers? I was trying to figure
that one out. I can't answer.
I'm trying to figure it out too.
Because my thing is, you already understand the concept that he's living a different life than you are or whatnot. So everything that happened to you technically isn't going to be happening to him, because that's not his story. That's your story. So so the whole point of getting him to be Flash as well, it really didn't make too much sense. But I guess he figured out 2 Flashes are better than 1, but then he lost his power. So I don't know.
Yeah, because they went from I forgot what they were talking about in that room. It was a bunch of bullshit. And then it went from that to like, well, what's today's date? Oh, we got to get you to the lab or whatever, because this is the day I get my powers. And I'm like, but why though?
He don't even work there. That's the funny part about it. Like,
he don't, technically this Flash don't even work there. So it's like, why are you? Yeah, I feel like they could explain that more. It just kind of seemed like it really, it just seemed like they just threw that together just for the other Flash to lose his powers, just so they can kind of progress the storyline, because it really didn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it was just him alone trying to figure things out, to me that would have made more sense than just trying to bring the other one in and get him to have the powers too. Because for one thing, you got more experience than he does. You've lived this life. He has not lived this life. So now you throw him into the mix, and now you got to deal with him knowing something he don't know nothing about. So,
right. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that. But yeah. So then his dumbass ended up losing his powers. So they're fighting, of course. It just was, I think that whole scene, honestly, was just a hot ass mess. And then I think the only good thing that came out of that, which was really a bad thing too, I'm happy that he got to see how annoying he can be. But we also had to deal with like this super annoying other Flash that just acted like, just to the point where, like I said in the beginning, it just felt forced. Yeah. Too forced. Like, you can't be that just self-absorbed that you don't realize how dumb and stupid you sound and look right now. Come on now. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. But I will say, before all that happened, you did get a little cameo. We already talked about, Ben Affleck's Batman. Yeah. And you also got to see Wonder Woman before he, ended up going back in time or whatever. And go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Why the hell did she show up so damn late? Like, I mean, I get maybe she had something to do, but I just felt like they kind of just threw her in there just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, like she really served no purpose other than to just show up at the end. I forgot what exactly she did, but it was just kind of like, really, Wonder Woman, why now? We done fought everybody now.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of been the run of the mill with her cameos. Like, she'll just pop up, like, why are you here? Because, like, even in the Shazam movie, she was in, like, an end cameo in there as well. Yeah. So she just popped up. But the whole Lasso of Truth thing was funny, though. Like, when she raised him up and then Batman just spilling his shit out. He like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. And then, a lot of people, I heard a lot of people didn't like his suit, but I thought his suit was dope. Like his bluish, his blue bat suit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I don't know.
A lot of people had some hate about it. I was like, I thought it was dope.
I saw a lot of people say some stuff about it. But I feel like there's no pleasing people with the Batman suit, because even I feel like Robert Pattinson's Batman suit got a lot of flack, and I didn't see nothing wrong with it. It was cool. I mean, I wasn't like in love with it, but like I didn't see nothing wrong with it. So I don't know. You can't please people.
Yeah, I don't know. I like how they gave it the blue tint, like gave him like the gray and blue old school, Batman colors or whatever. So that was cool to see.
It was dope to me. I mean, and there's another unpopular opinion. I actually don't hate Ben Affleck's Batman. I actually like Ben Affleck's Batman. I feel like he gets a lot of unnecessary hate for sure. For no reason, but
Because I told you, for me on my end, I had to understand his character more, because coming into it, like when they dropped the first Justice League or whatever one, was it the first Justice League or Batman versus Superman?
Man of Steel. Batman versus Superman or something.
I think Batman versus Superman was the first time you actually seen him in a suit and everything like that. But like I said, back then, I didn't know this was older Batman. I thought this was like prime Batman, but this is an older Batman. Yeah. So once I understood that, it made more sense. Now I get it. Now I see what the goal was with them. But like I said, as far as cameos go, you got to see their dynamic together, and Wonder Woman got thrown in, and then boom, you back here in this whole different universe where he don't know nobody, he ain't got no help, and that's where you're at with it.
Yeah, and since we're going back to like the other universe, I want to talk about Michael Keaton again. He was dope. I think him, and damn, I'm jumping too far ahead either. But since we're here, because I think Supergirl comes after, but I think he tries to help Flash get his powers back, right? First.
Yeah, he does an experiment. Yeah, he does an experiment with him to get his powers back in the cave.
Or do they? No, I think they go and get Supergirl first, right? Because remember, she like helps the Flash finally Yeah,
go get Supergirl first. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That part was I will say I absolutely loved her character. I thought she was like dope. I feel like they picked the perfect Supergirl. Like, to me, she embodied like, and I like that she was kind of like edgy and like not like how they try to make female superheroes like almost like all they care about is like, oh, I gotta look cute and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like she was like gritty and like you can tell she's like just pissed off about shit. And excuse me. I love how they portrayed her. And then with Michael Keaton, I just thought he was just badass. Like the fact that he's like this older guy and he's still like whooping ass, and like even the scene where they went to go get her and he like just flew down and beat everybody's ass. I'm just like, yo, Michael Keaton is cool as fuck. Like that was cool. That was cool.
Right. And I'm glad they still got to show some of his old schoolness or whatever, because I think they was trying to disarm. They was trying to unlock something or disarm it, and he had the little keypad out. We're like, nigga, what?
I like that too. Like how they were just trying to show, like, you know, he's still old school type. Yeah. Even though, like, you know, of course they got like better technology now, but I love that they like had him in there, like still having his type of shit, and they're looking like, what the hell is that? So that was dope. Super dope. He was probably like him and Supergirl were one of my favorite parts of the movie for sure. And then I'm not jumping ahead, but that multiverse cameo from the OG gave me goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, that gave me goosebumps. That was dope. But yeah.
Right. But I mean, it, like I said, the whole progression, seeing the Batcave once again. Like I said, that was dope. And then the whole thing with pretty much the Flash not having a suit, so he had to borrow one of Batman's suit that was heat resistant. I was like, come on, bruh.
That shit
that shit looked cringy. Like in the trailer, like you didn't really know what kind of suit he had on, but you knew he had a suit. And then when you see the progress, it was like, golly.
Yeah, because when old dude put it on, I'm like, this is the best you could do. Like, you know, you normally, and I'm not trying to throw Marvel in there, but normally when you get like a scene where you see some people making a suit, it looked better than what I was expecting. That shit looked
right.
That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
And, it was a Frankenstein Flash suit. That's what it felt like.
yeah. That was wild. Another scene that I liked though, and just comparing it with Flashpoint, was Batman trying to help Flash get his powers back. I thought Flashpoint was way more kind of gruesome with just, I mean, pretty much Flash got fried. Like,
he got
fried.
Burnt all the hell, fried.
Because I'm like, at least with the live action, it was still, it was a lot, I'm like, he getting cooked, but like the animated, like this nigga, I'm just like, yo, there's no coming back from that. I don't see how you can come back from that.
Because like in the Flashpoint or whatever, when he did get fried or whatever, Batman was like, hey man, just relax, bro. You probably just not gonna get your powers, man. You tried, but it was good. You like, nah, man, do it again. Like, what?
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I forgot, in the animated version, so after he got fried or whatever, he just goes ahead and starts healing, right? Because it worked.
Yeah, so after the second time going, he finally gets his powers or whatever. He saves Batman, then he instantly starts to heal.
Okay, yeah. So in the live action, Supergirl swoops in and like takes him up to, the skies, whatever. He gets hit by lightning, and that's how he gets his powers, which I don't know. It was a bit much for me, but I don't know. What was your opinion with that? I thought it was a bit much to have her come in and like Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it was anticlimactic for sure. Like, I mean, it didn't have to go through all that, but I mean, I guess if it helped the film, then it helped the film.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I guess hold on for a second. I guess he just felt like, or at least they felt like they didn't want to underuse her. They was like, "Wow, we got her. Let's use her for something." I guess let's lift him up and get him, shot again or whatever. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think how. Okay, I know she probably overheard some shit because she's Supergirl, super hearing. Right. But how she just knew? Oh, let me just take this nigga up to the sky and let him get electrocuted. How? How you know?
Maybe. Right, because I was like, it ain't the altitude. Right. He definitely got shot. So it ain't the altitude that's gonna change nothing. So she's like,
how you not knowing you about to kill this dude? Like you just it's just gonna work. But like you said, whatever helps the movie move along, whatever.
Yeah, because I think in the way she kind of felt indebted to him because when they got there to save her and everything like that or whatever. Of course, they went there looking for Clark Kent. That's who they thought they was gonna find with Superman, but they ended up finding her. And as they're trying to get her out and everything like that, they could have just left it like, all right, this is the wrong one. This dip out. But it's like, nah, y'all already there. Go ahead and save whoever's there and get on up out of there. And that boy was holding on to her for dear life, and he ain't got no kind of powers.
Because I think Batman was like, "What you doing?" And Flash was like, "Well, we can't leave her. We got to get her." So. Yeah, and then I think even with that, she repeated a line that he had said to her when he had got. I think he said, "I got you," and then she said the same thing. So I guess they were trying to do that. So it was cool. I think overall, like I said, I just liked the whole dynamic between the three of them, Michael Keaton and Supergirl. What did you think about that battle with the whole? Trying to keep going back in time and stuff. If we're not jumping too ahead, I don't think we are.
It's kind of hard to tell, but I know what you're talking about. So with the second Flash, like when they would fight, well, all of them was their fight. So it was Flash, number 2 Flash, Batman, and Supergirl. Everybody fighting or whatever. Because here we are, and Zod has came back with his people or whatever, and of course, if you say Man of Steel, you've seen that original Zod in there. He was in this one or whatnot.
Yeah. So
he come here to find whatever cells or whatever things they need from that Earth or whatever, or for them to help their planet or whatnot. And, so Supergirl whole time thinking they look for Superman, like, oh, he ain't here. He's like, nah, we need you. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But but that whole thing there. Yeah. And then with the second Flash trying to like, hey, we can go back in time, right? Let's try to save everybody, make sure don't nobody get hurt. Boom, did it. Damn, happened again. Boom, did it. Damn, happened another way. Boom, did it. Oh, they live. No, they don't. Boom. Like, I was like, bro, just stop.
And that was the crazy thing about it. And, wait. Before I get into that, when they pretty much said they killed Clark as a damn, I think as a baby. Like
what?
Yeah, that shit was because she was just like, what happened to Kal? And they were just like, he's gone. And I'm like, yo, like y'all don't kill Superman. And then jumping forward to that with these niggas both dying. I'm like, how the hell is Batman and Supergirl dying like this? Right. The first time it happened, I was like, damn, y'all gonna let him go out like that? Then when it happened again, I was like, you know what? This is supposed to happen. This shit is crazy. And then what's his name is just getting so obsessed with trying to stop it. And I was like, and then I knew already that he I don't want to jump too far ahead. I knew something was off about him. But when he started doing that, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here. I see it.
Right. Because, the first Hour Flash, he made it seem like he finally had sense. He's like, hey, man, like, it's not going to stop anything or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, you say that, but whole time, you the reason all this stuff is happening or whatever. So, now you got clarity. Now you got common sense to say, like, it's going to keep being an ongoing thing. And really, Batman had even explained that theory early in the movie. I think when they had came in to meet him, he was like, look at this one string of spaghetti. It's going in one direction or whatever. But then if you get multiple strands of it and put it in there, it's all going to lead up to one, ultimate conclusion. And I was like, damn, shit. The way he broke it down, I was like, nah, you might well listen to what he's saying. Right.
Yeah. Because, every time they tried, they died some other, to the point where I was like, man, just get them out of their misery. Shit. Like, y'all just keep Like, just stop.
Right.
And I think at that point, damn, I'm trying to think. I think Flash was like telling him to stop, but I forgot when they got into that. I want to call it like the multiverse pot of just madness. Like when they were just and then what's his name? Dark Flash came, and then that's when that whole conversation happened between the three of them. And then that's when they started uncovering everything.
Right. That's when everything started to unfold, yeah. Because I mean, you know, like we said with the first Flash, when he was running back and then Dark Flash had knocked him out of orbit essentially, whatever, you know, in your head you're thinking like, oh, he's trying to stop you from making a mistake. Whole time, nah, he's trying to make the mistake. He's been trying to for however long, like
pushed him in there on purpose.
Right. So, and that was the funny part about it to me, because I was like, hey, he's supposed to be trying to stop you? Oh no, he's trying to stop you, but he's trying to stop you so he can keep effing up. I was like,
right. Which is the irony of it all, though, is like he ended up killing himself. Dark Flash. Yeah. That's the crazy thing about it. And I'm trying to get my thoughts together because I had it in my head. I was about to make a great point. Damn, let me just keep talking. It may come back. Overall, that whole thing to me was just wild, because I think at that point he was like, well, I don't need you anymore. And then he tries to kill our Flash, and then the other Flash jumps in front of him, and then he ends up killing himself, and then now he ceases to exist. And I'm just like, bruh, you did not think that through. You stupid. Like, what you doing?
Well, no, the second Flash realized that was him. Like, that was himself. He realized that was himself.
Yeah.
So he was like, I guess he was like, I can't let myself kill you, so I gotta let myself kill myself.
Okay, so so is that what happened? Because when I was looking at it, I thought he was just trying to protect what's his name? His other self. Yeah.
Essentially, yes, but then like if you notice why he's looking at it, he's looking at the little sight that's in his arm, then he's looking at Dark Flash. He's like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, okay.
That's where he kind of was like, oh, I'm the reason for all this. This is why this keeps going or whatever.
So I need to stop it.
Yeah, so I need to stop it. So therefore, in stopping myself, so that's what he did.
Yeah.
So then he ceased to exist.
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy. Because when he showed up, I was like, yo, that's him. Like, even though I've been knew that, but, you know, just piecing it together. And I'm like, y'all niggas didn't piece that together yet. Hello. But, no, that it was wild. It was wild. And then with all what did you think about them showing? Because I thought that was dope when they started showing, like, I think they went back to, like, the 1950s and the black and white Flash and Superman. And then we had, damn, what's his name?
Talking about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. We saw. What did you think about? What did you think about? Because I see some people kind of have mixed thoughts about. I heard people say that they don't know if it was kind of goofy, but then I saw other people thought it was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, because originally he was cast to be Superman, and his was gonna be a different variant of Superman that we're used to, whatever. So I kind of knew what was gonna happen. You know, like after all the Superman started popping up, then he popped up. I'm like, okay, cool. Because you see the world he was on was like a, battle world essentially. Yeah. Like he was battling big ass animals, spiders, and shit. So, it was interesting to see that, but it was good to see Christopher Reeves and stuff. And it seemed like at this point is where the CGI tried to clear up some. Outside of that, everything else was just stupid.
They put all their money into that. Like, because that was like, when I tell you I got goosebumps, I thought that to me was probably my favorite. I thought that was the best scene in the movie. So I thought it was dope how they did it. And it was just so cool. And then, like, another thing that I peeped someone else, because I was, like, looking at videos after it, and people were saying, you peep how, like, him, and I forgot the actress name who plays Supergirl, but they were saying when they had, like, I guess when the camera panned, if you see their emotion, it kind of was just looking like they're used to shit like this happen. Like, they didn't look fazed at all. So I thought that was cool. And just overall, just seeing Christopher Reeves, he's, like, the OG. That was dope to see.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Christopher Reeves is gone, it was good to kind of see him be revived and see him once again don the suit and everything. Because he's always played the background with anything Superman. Like even when the Smallville show was out, he played a part in there.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, it was just kind of good to see him again. You know, see the Supergirls and all that or whatnot. So yeah, it was a good little rewind back to the past.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that I was like, okay, y'all did something really good with all of this, because just I think that the whole segment of just the multiverse, Superman, and all that, I thought that was like the coolest. I wanted more. I wish they could have shown. And I feel like, because I read about this and I thought this was stupid because for one, it doesn't make sense. But I heard the reason why they didn't have Henry Cavill in the movie at all was because they didn't want to give fans false hope. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense because you guys have Wonder Woman in there and you have Ben Affleck, you have Aquaman in there. Granted, Aquaman I think is going to be Lobo, I guess now. But I mean, if you have all these other people who are not coming back, y'all could have brought Henry Cavill back just as a last sort of send off for the fans at least. You know, like it could have just been like a cameo or something.
Right. Because I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts around that one or whatever. I think more so, like, even with the whole thing with Black Adam or whatever, like, you know, I think, you know, The Rock was trying to go his own route and they didn't have plans for Henry Cavill to really be in any more of none of this stuff or whatever. So maybe that's more of the reason why they didn't bring him in for a cameo for that. But it's almost like the groundwork already been laid. Y'all about to reset everything anyway. Go ahead and bring him back in, because what's going to be the confusion now if you starting all over? So it's not going to change anything.
They could have or if they were worried about fans getting false hope, they could have like had some other variant of Henry Cavill Superman. I don't know. He could have had like long ass hair or blonde hair or some shit. I don't know. Like in the multiverse scene. Could have been something, but I felt like they were wrong to bring everyone else back except for him. Like, are y'all serious? Come on now.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucked up. I would have loved to see. I was waiting for him to make some type of appearance, but you know.
Yeah, nah. The way they set it up, it was like, all right, yeah, we told y'all what we was gonna do. Just, just go ahead and just take this little bit we got left. Yeah.
Right. So I think at that point, don't the Flash starts running to try to reel time back in, right?
Yeah, real time back in, and then once he reels it back in, he essentially tries to fix what he did, but he does all that just to fuck it up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more time. We already touched on CGI, but the CGI particularly in I want to call it the multiverse little pod thing they had going on, because I don't know what exactly you would call it. The CGI was absolutely terrible, and god damn it, Warner Brothers, come on now. Or whoever did the CGI. It was just, it was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just about to it's gonna look like some PS2 graphics, and, you know, it is what it is. You know, I was just like, come on now. You could tell all their money went into the end with the multiverse stuff. Everything else, I was just really disappointed, because I feel like in 2023, it shouldn't be looking like, unless that's what they were going for. If that's what they were going for, even then, I'm like, no, it's not it.
Yeah. I mean, I think if anything, it was more of a budget thing than anything, because we already know they pulling out. So they say probably pulled out what they didn't need or felt like they didn't need, and just to pour it all into the end of it or whatever. But yeah, you can see it dwindling on the way. But we said the same thing about She-Hulk in the past. Like CGI in there was not that great. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. But so back to what you were saying. Yeah, he goes back into the past. He goes and he goes to try to put the tomatoes back out of the cart and back on the shelf so his mom will forget, which honestly, that I won't say it fucked with me, but I can imagine, honestly, that had to be super hard for anybody to do, to know, you know, like, that's crazy. Like, because I was even thinking, like, shit, if I had to do something like that, I don't think I would be able to do it, because that's crazy. Just knowing that if I put these tomatoes out the car, I know what's gonna happen.
Right. So you won't never see them again and all that.
Right. So that whole scene with his mom, when he's talking with his mom, so I thought that was touching. I don't really know how she didn't know that was him. I think she kind of was like, you look familiar, but you know, whatever, it's Hollywood, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought their scene was touching.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like most movies, you know, like they know but they don't know, and they just kind of run with it and all that stuff. But you know, at least he got to have that last moment. Or whatever, you know, of seeing his mom at his age now. Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, really, he saw her the way he remembered her. So
yeah, which was very touching. Yeah, but so then he goes and puts the tomatoes back, and then I guess he peeps up at the camera, and then he thinks in his head, oh well, I need to put tomatoes on the top shelf so my dad can look up and he can be saved. This nigga, the dad wins the court case. He's, you know, because they can confirm his alibi, which is great. But this nigga fucks up timeline again.
Cause we get all the way up into that point for you to still mess with time. I was like,
bruh,
you just should have left it alone. And then you come back, everything changed.
Yeah, it's like even then, and that's the thing that cracks me up about it. Is like, I don't know. It was almost like he just said, fuck it. Because my whole thing is, you putting the tomatoes in the cart for your mom to not get killed did so much damage. So you think, okay, well, I'm going to still fuck with it. I'm about to put tomatoes on the top shelf so my dad can look up at the camera so he can be off. You didn't think there's going to be something off in your timeline, my friend. Come on now.
Right. Like, it'd be the little stuff.
Yeah, it'd be the little stuff. So now we have George Clooney's Batman, this is another thing. I didn't catch it, but I heard some other nerds talking about it. They said that in the credit scene with Aquaman, I don't know if you caught it. I didn't catch it. He said that he went back to fix everything. So now Ben Affleck's Batman is Batman again. And so I don't know. That's what the nerd said.
Oh, I mean, I definitely missed that one.
Yeah.
I definitely missed that one. Because, I mean, I guess if you're saying that Aquaman, I guess what makes sense. But even still, the timeline has changed because even the conversation that was happening, people like, oh, so you mean to tell me this happened or that happened or whatever. So, I don't know. It's hard to say, you know. And if he truly did go back and fix everything, you know, we'll see. But it was definitely a surprise to see George Clooney. I was like, oh, okay. Because, you know, it was always talked about it was going to be one more cameo that was going to be in there. And I was waiting for it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Nice to see him.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like, now, okay, that's a cop out because you go back and change. How Flash? Like, how did you change everything? And how's your dad still out of jail? What did you do to put everything back together again? Because I'm just curious. What could you have done? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like I said, you know, with this technically being the ending, we probably won't never get our answer.
Probably never.
Unless they release some cuts, which they got a lot of stuff they need to release, apparently, that they've been holding on to. And it's like, why y'all playing?
Because my whole thing, instead of having that bullshit as a credit scene, they should have had maybe, I don't know, give us some reverse Flash action, you know, like something. I feel like that could have tied into the mom's death, everything like that. Because I mean, like we said, we know Reverse Flash killed his mom. That's why, you know, it happened the way it did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like they could have put that in a movie or something. But you know, like you said, maybe that was the plan, and maybe they decided to change it because, you know, this is it essentially. So they swapped it out for the Aquaman drunk scene or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it was just, what am I looking at this for? Like,
right. Because I mean, they could have even did something like Across the Spider-Verse or whatever, because apparently they had different endings throughout the country or whatever. So whatever ending you sing, so whatever ending you sing, somebody else probably saw a different ending.
Or something else, and like either other scenes of dialogue was maybe different. Someone said this in this theater, and the other theater said something else. So I thought that was cool. It could have did something like that, but I'll always say this. The only movie that I feel like does multiverse the right way is Spider-Verse. I don't think no other movie has really, like, they try, but it still misses. Like, I feel like Flash had potential to go there because the scenes with the other Superman and Flashes were pretty fucking cool. It's just, I think for me is Ezra. I think he just isn't a good Flash to me. I think they weren't trying so hard to make him goofy and awkward. And then the run, I feel like it would have been better, but just, I feel like, and like I've always said, DC doesn't need to stop trying to be family friendly, stop trying to be goofy, stop trying to be silly all the damn time. Just give me dark, gory, serious, with a splash of jokes here and there. Too much.
A splash, not too much.
Yeah, like a splash. Literally, I don't even, not even a splash. I need a speck of a joke here and there. I don't need, let Marvel do it. I said that in I think the second episode of Blerdsters. Let Marvel have it. And I even get tired when Marvel overdoes the silly shit. And I'm a Marvel fan. But just DC, stop. I don't know, man. I hope James Gunn, he's taking over. I don't have any expectations. I've seen some of his work. We have, the Suicide Squad. We have Guardians of the Galaxy. Cool. You know what I'm saying? They're cool. He's known for the silliness. I don't have high hopes for the DCU. I don't know. Superman's looking, pretty cool with the casting. We'll just have to see. I don't know.
Right. I mean, like I said, we really just waiting because, they said they're going to be pulling from the Justice League animated series and Young Justice. And which Young Justice, I was just watching season 4 today. I don't know. I forgot they had a season 4. But some of the stuff in there, I was like, okay, blood, good, stab it. Oh, that's what I want. So if we're gonna be pulling from that, if it's gonna be more on a serious tip, then I'm all here for it. Like you said, for Superman Legacy right now, the cast is looking pretty good. You got Nathan Fillion pretty much finally, being the live action version of the character he's been voicing for years. Yeah. So it'll be good to see him in that or whatever. So I know it's just we've yet to see, but there's different things that's popping up. I know I talked about the Superman series that just dropped on Adult Swim, which I thought was supposed to be a joke. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be a joke just because it was on Adult Swim. I'm like, Superman.
Right. I saw it on commercial the other day. I was like, I gotta go ahead and just see what it's talking about and see if it's good. I haven't seen nobody really talking about it, so I don't know how good it is, but it looks solid,
Yeah, I watched one episode so far. I mean, it's pretty much just Superman being Superman. So if you're looking at Smallville, Clark Kent, Superman, that's all he doing. He being Superman. Okay. So So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. So
So overall, we got to give our rating, our grade. What would you give The Flash?
I'll give it a solid. If it was still in the DCU, I'm gonna give it a solid 6.5. 6.5. That's what I got for it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. 6 and a 6.5. And even with that though, I'll say I actually did enjoy it.
Yeah, it was really very enjoyable.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for sure. I think it definitely was the better of what we've seen so far in the DCEU thus far, for sure. I just hate that, like I said, it's just the silly run, the goofy cringiness I could have did without. But overall, it's actually a solid movie. I won't say I don't understand why it's getting so much hate. people just don't like Ezra anymore, especially after the dumb shit he's been doing. So people are pretty much like, but with that aside, the movie itself, it's pretty solid. It's not a bad movie. It's just, it's cool. It's solid. It's solid.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even with the cameo for Batman or whatever, that for me would just give it a 7, just to see him back in action, just to see him still be able to do everything he's doing. But outside of that, I mean, it was enjoyable. I didn't walk away from it feeling like, damn, I wasted my time. Like, nah, it was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, honestly, I think it was a little. I enjoyed it a little. Nah, I can't really say that because the nostalgia of seeing Toby and Andrew. But I will say I enjoyed both of them. Yeah, I think aside if they didn't have that nostalgia in it, I think I would actually like The Flash a little bit more, honestly. I think what is it, Far From Home? No Way Home?
Yeah.
I think the nostalgia kind of got me mostly, just seeing everybody together. But I don't know. They're both solid to me anyway. Regardless, they're both solid.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For
sure. But like we said before, if you haven't, go check it out. Which y'all should have by now if y'all haven't.
Right.
Even outside of that, even outside of that, y'all gotta check out Flashpoint so you have a comparison of the two, because Flashpoint, and also it was told that the guy, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, the guy that played Thomas Wayne in I think the first Batman movie or something like that. But y'all also see, I forget his name off the top of my head, but y'all also see him in Walking Dead or whatnot. His character was originally supposed to be in this movie. So apparently he got knocked out of the spot by Michael Keaton. Yeah, apparently his character was supposed to be in this movie or whatever, but somehow Michael Keaton's nostalgia knocked him out of that spot, and they went ahead with Michael Keaton. I was like, God damn it! Like
they could have had both. Like, yo, I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna just say this: Thomas Wayne's Batman is something serious. Like, I thought, Batman was ruthless. No, this nigga is like super ruthless. Like, I love him. He's dope. He's a dope character. Dope character. Yeah. For sure. Any of y'all haven't seen Flashpoint, go see it. I was just sitting there like, yo, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, all I'm gonna say is niggas are trifling.
Trifling as hell.
Trifling, man. But yeah. Flashpoint is definitely a great one for sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I tell you all the time, DC animated movies just don't miss, and that's
never.
So make sure y'all check them both out and tell us what you think. I think the next thing that pop out is going to be Blue Beetle, and that should be out of the reset. So I don't think Blue Beetle will have any attachment to the current DCE right now. So interested to see what they're going to do with that.
I have no expectations. I'm just kidding. No, I've seen the trailers, and I'm gonna just keep an open mind. We'll see.
Right.
I'm here for the representation, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So cheers for that. But as far as anything else, we'll see.
Right. We'll see.
Yeah, man. But
go ahead.
No, I think we covered everything. I'm trying to think. I think we covered everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered everything for most. Yeah, we covered everything for the most part. Because, like I said, if you follow, you kind of know the story already. But that's just a tidbit of the movie, though. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap it up. Next episode is gonna be Transformers. Got a lot to say about that. Yep, Rise of the Beast. And so Blerdsters, like we said, go check out the Flash movie. Watch that Flashpoint before you see it, you're gonna be able to compare some similarities, and it's also just dope to discuss the differences and similarities as well too. So check that out. And it's been real, y'all. I'm your host, Shalon, and this is your co-host,
K1.
Yeah, and we'll be back on the next one, you guys.
All right, catch y'all later. Peace.
All right.
All right.